Hello there, it's Fiona here again. You're very welcome back to my channel. This here is baby Oak. He's 3 weeks old today. So I thought I'd just do a quick postpartum update, a 3 week update. Oh, okay, I think he might need to feed. So he's just latched on and I think he just needs to go back to sleep again. He's so sweet. Oh, my sweet. I'm really loving this time with him and really honouring the fourth trimester with baby Oak. It's our fourth baby, so I know what a difference it can make to recovery and the next few years really of your life if you take that time, with your baby, getting just to recover after birth, but also just to rest and to bond and to take in everything, all the changes that have happened. Yeah, as I say, he's 3 weeks old now, so I can't believe that 3 weeks have already passed since his birth. But at the same time, it's just been such a lovely time, as I say, just getting to know him and resting mostly, just resting. Honouring this time because it's so important. It's such a huge moment, this transition. Even as a fourth time mom, it really is. It's a huge change for everybody involved. Yeah. So I'm just going to give you a quick lowdown on all the changes that have been happening and how I'm doing physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually since the birth of baby Oak. I'll start with physically, and physically now at 3 weeks postpartum, I feel great. It really helped that I had no tearing this time. I didn't on my last birth either. On the first two I did, on the third and fourth I didn't, and it's a huge difference really. Like, the healing is just so quick. If you've been watching her for a while, you'll know that we've had all home births, and so obviously it was a vaginal delivery, and if you've given birth, you'll know, like, no matter how you give birth, you always bleed for a couple of weeks after, which is really normal. But if you don't have any tearing or anything, it just means that the recovery is a lot quicker. There he is. He's happy now, is he? Because he was born during the day, I didn't lose any night's sleep. And I always, that was the same for my third. Like, my first two were born at night, and I lost, like, basically a whole night's sleep, or most of the night. So just Oak, just like Saul, he was born during the day. It was in the evening time. So yeah, I went to bed that night and didn't lose any sleep. So that has huge ramifications, I feel like, with recovery. You're not kind of wrecked to start with, if you know what I mean. Also, it was a fast birth, so yeah, like, although it did take a lot of energy, it wasn't like hours upon hours upon hours of contractions, so yeah. So overall, my physical recovery has been really good, but I have been diligent about staying in bed, and especially the first week I did not move from the room. The second week, once or twice, only when I needed to go, like, for appointments for Oak, nothing else. This past third week I've moved around a little bit more, but only because I felt able to, and only because I've kind of had to. So with the three older children, and we homeschool, so we're at home, but a couple of times I needed to get up and get things for them, like breakfast and stuff, when my husband wasn't here. But mostly in bed, and, like, if we have an appointment, something to go to, we go, and then I come back and get into bed. So trying to have a nap every day, if not being in bed all day, and it's been great. Like, it's really helped with my physical recovery. That has also helped with my emotional kind of and mental recovery as well, because I just feel I've had the time and the space to kind of honor the fact that I've had another baby, honor the fact that my mind needs to rest, and I just need the time to bond with him. And it really helps with breastfeeding, just to be lying down and with him all the time. Now, literally, he's on me or with me all the time. The only exception is every evening when I have a shower. Like, literally, he's with me all the time apart from that. And that's what I want, and I'm happy with that. I know that it's not for everyone, but I just feel like that time that we spend together is just so important. We're still so connected. Like, every time he falls asleep, I feel tired, and I realize it's just because we're still almost the same person. We're so connected, and that's just amazing. I have felt like that on all my babies, that I've just been really just in sync with them and their needs. Makes so much sense with breastfeeding as well. Like sometimes I might feel my letdown, like the milk kind of letting down into my breasts, and he's like awake and rooting, looking for the breast at the same time. It's like we're still in sync. And yeah, that's so special. And I know that'll last for a good few months. But now getting breastfeeding off to a good start, the resting, the staying together, he's feeding a lot, like every hour or so. I don't keep track. I don't take any notes. I don't look at the clock. I just go with his lead, and I've done that with all my kids, like breastfed them on demand. I really feel it's the only way to do it. Like if you want to build up your supply, to be able to feed long term, which I have done and I plan to do again with Oak. So yeah, rest, feeding, you know, it's really all I've been doing. So yeah, I really feel that the more the mom is looked after, the mother is mothered, the better start the mother and the baby will have, in this phase of life. So yeah, it's been really great. And honestly, I have to say, like, my friends have been amazing. Have had, like, dropping over dinners. My husband is amazing, just feeding me, like, literally breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The first week, all in bed. The first 2 weeks, that has really helped and aided my recovery and everything. Oh, well, we put you over this side. You have a little burp. Oh, my baba. I'll put you over this side and see if you have a little burp. Then I suppose also physically, the fact that I've been, been given my meals, and also I'm snacking a lot. Like, I just, whenever I feel hungry, I just eat, and I have to make sure I drink enough water and loads of herbal teas. Basically, I'm not limiting anything. I am, in fact, just trying to eat as much as I can to keep my energy and because I'm making so much milk at the moment. There will be time in the future for all the baby weight to go away. I'm not thinking about that at all, and I never have prioritized that. Like, literally, I just know I just need to be nourished, and very regularly, even in the middle of the night. So I always have snacks on the bedside locker. So feeding day and night very regularly. Am I tired? Yes, but no, because I'm not wasting any energy doing anything else, really. Like, I have done a couple of things around the house, but hardly anything, just in the third week. As I gain more energy, I will do more. It is hard to kind of close your eyes to different things that need to be done, but I'm doing that. I'm just not looking at if there are messes, but mostly it's fine. It's livable. Yeah, so really lucky that I have so many people on my side. My mom is coming over so many times, doing stuff with the kids and helping feed me and to keep the house tidy as well. So yeah, I'm really lucky with all the help I have. Yeah, so emotionally and spiritually, I just feel so fulfilled, so happy that he's here, he's safe. It was such a lovely birth, like, it was fast. So just the fact that he's here, we had a lovely home birth. I just feel so fulfilled and so glad, because I think pregnancy after loss is so different to a regular pregnancy. Part of you, even though I was really, really positive during the second and third trimester, and really, like, really hopeful and not negative at all, I think until they arrive, part of you is just like, it's just a relief that he's here, I think, is the best way to describe it. And the kids are great as well. Like, they've really taken to him so well, and they're really helping out. Like, I have not seen any jealousy, like, crazily, at all. But Saul is 4, so he's a great age, and he's had me for 4 years. He only weaned a few months ago, really. So yeah, it's great, and he's a really good kind of gentle personality. So he's really taken to me, loves him. And I think they're so occupied doing their own things, and because we're such a close family unit as well, like, they're not gone off their separate ways every day to school, because we homeschool. they were here, they saw everything, you know. I think they're really, really involved in his life, you know, and included. So I think that helps. I really do. I think, and the fact that they're happy and part of everything that's going on really makes me happy. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, there've also been hard days where people have been upset about different things, the kids or whatever, but just general run-of-the-mill things. So overall, really, really, really good. Really happy and just really grateful that he's here and he's well and we're all well. So I will link, I have another video I made after my third baby was born about like postpartum tips and stuff. I'm going to recommend a book that I got called The First 40 Days, and I read that, you know, in the early days of postpartum. I probably should have bought it when I was still pregnant to make some of the recipes and stuff, but overall, like, the whole sentiment of it was lovely, and I really agree with like everything she says in the book. It really spoke to me. It was a lovely book to read postpartum, and I've been reading other books as well, like rereading other books on birth that I have. My one thing I would say, if you're pregnant at the moment, is get this book, read it, leave it around the house so other people can read it too, so they understand what you will need, and give yourself the time, just you and your baby, to get to know them, to get breastfeeding off to a good start if you're planning to breastfeed, and to honor the transition, because yeah, it's just such a huge deal. It really is, and people are going to want to come and visit, and I've been pretty strict about if people can come and who can come. Really haven't had too many people. I think I've had 2 friends come on their own, like not with their kids. And they've stayed for a very short amount of time. 3 friends. And because I've chosen people who I know will support me, who understand breastfeeding, who understand birth. They've all had home births, the 2 my friends who have come to visit. It's because I know the people, like they'll come and they'll bring food, or they'll chat or read a book to my kids, or, you know, I think it's okay to be choosy about who comes to visit, and that they're people who will help, who not just want to sit and hold your baby, because that's not their job, that's your job. I feel really lucky, but also know that they're my own boundaries that I've set that have helped to make this a really great 4th trimester. I'm going to enjoy the next few weeks as well, just coming out slowly. I do this thing where, you know, I do one thing, an activity one day, and then maybe take a rest day, an activity the next day. So I'm not overdoing it for me, for my baby. I don't want to get mastitis, because that's what happens when you overdo it. And just take it easy, you know, and just really enjoy the rest of this really special time together. Right, Papa? So he has had a couple of checks with, he had the GP check at 2 weeks, and he's doing really well. He's putting on loads of weight. He had the check with the pediatrician at 2 days. That was fine too. He did his hearing check as well in the hospital. So that when you're having home birth, you have to do the 72-hour check and the hearing check back in the hospital. Or if you have a GP that will do them, but most of them don't, due to insurance reasons. So there are things that, like, if your baby was born in the hospital, they'd get done in the hospital before discharge. And then the 2-week check for the baby and the 6-week check for mum and baby. Obviously we haven't done that one yet, but that'll be in 3 weeks' time. So yeah, like, that's the only things I've really left the house for. And yeah, I'm just going to be picky and choosy about what I leave the house for over the next couple of weeks, but looking forward to bringing them into the world and showing them off a bit too. But happy to stay in our little bubble for the next while, or at least come in and out of it gradually. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions at all, put them down in the comments. I'd be delighted to answer them. And as I say, I'll be back soon with his birth story. I can't wait to share that. And please, can I ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Thanks a million. Bye bye.